2 years ago, the Muhammed cartoon riots erupted. One of the most disgraceful aspects of this episode was how few publications in free countries actually had the balls to stand up to this intimidation and print the cartoons. One of the publications in New Zealand that did was the Free Radical, a libertarian publication which printed the cartoons in full, but generally the mainstream media succumbed to pressure and accepted the Sharia law of self-censorship like good dimmies. The Dominion Post, our Wellington newspaper, printed the cartoons though, and the sad thing was that they were forced to apologise a couple of days later. However, before they did, I wrote them a letter congratulating them. I'll read it now. Congratulations to the Dominion Post for its courage in publishing the Muhammad cartoons. What a twisted world, where tyrannical Saudi Arabia and Libya are giving moral lectures to Denmark. So Muslim consumers may be less willing to buy New Zealand products. That is a price much lower than the price paid by our ancestors for our right to free speech. As Benjamin Franklin said, quote, "Those willing to sacrifice liberty for safety deserve neither," unquote. I call on all New Zealand newspapers to follow your lead and for our cartoonists to be as prepared to use Muhammad in cartoons as they would any other historical figure. I have made a special point of buying some Danish products this week. Steve Rothel of Napier, Dominion Post, 8th of February 2006. One of the other few publications around the world which printed the cartoons was a newspaper in Canada known as the Western Standard. Now, the aftermath of this episode reached its disgusting conclusion on 11th of January this year, 2008, when the then publisher of the Western Standard, Mr. Ezra Levant, was hauled before the Alberta Human Rights Commission and made to explain himself due to the complaint from a Saudi-trained imam offended by his action of printing the Muhammad cartoons. It is a good thing that he was allowed to film the procedures. During the procedures, he made an absolutely devastating, brilliant defense of freedom of speech. I urge you to click on the link which will take you to his brilliant defense of free speech. As philosopher Ayn Rand said, these people who want to rule your life cannot do so unless they have the sanction of the victim. Mr. Levant absolutely refuses to give that sanction to the Alberta Human Rights Commission. Visit his website. If you're in Canada, support him in his causes, subscribe to his magazine, donate money to his legal defence, make another video supporting him. Because if we're not going to use freedom of speech to defend freedom of speech, what are we going to use when that right has been taken away from us?